With an electorate larger than Germany's, West Bengal has long stood as a distinct exception in Indian politics. For decades, this state maintained a fierce regional pride but successfully resisted the Bharatiya Janata Party's expansion across the northern heartland. That resistance was anchored by Mamata Banerjee. Her Trinamool Congress, or TMC, maintained a hold on the state for 15 years, rooted in her reputation as a street fighter who rose from the grassroots to challenge the national establishment. For the BJP, West Bengal represented the final frontier, a state where regional identity and a powerful incumbent made the prospect of a national party taking power seem like an impossible task. That 15-year tenure ended on May 4, 2026. Defying all projections, the BJP dislodged the TMC across its strongholds. The math shows a landslide. The BJP secured 206 of the 294 assembly seats, leaving the TMC with roughly 80. This victory in the East stands in contrast to the rest of the country. During the same election cycle, the BJP faced significant pushback in southern states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, where regional coalitions held their ground. So how did a party often characterized as an outsider in Bengal dismantle India's most resilient regional fortress? The BJP realized they could not win by imposing a northern political style. They had to adapt their image to fit the Bengali imagination. In a departure from their traditional optics, BJP leaders campaigned on the freedom to eat fish and meat, the core of the Bengali diet. By promising to protect these staples and even increase their consumption, they signaled that they would respect local identity rather than try to change it. This cultural outreach was paired with a focused effort to consolidate the Hindu vote. By championing local historical icons and addressing the concerns of specific communities like the Matuas and Rajbanshis, they built a coalition that cut across traditional caste lines. Rather than challenging the Bengali voters' sense of self, the party positioned itself as the new guardian of those very traditions. As the BJP built this new trust, the TMC's most loyal base began to fracture. Mamata Banerjee had long relied on the support of women, framing her leadership around the concept of Ma, or mother. However, high-profile failures in law and order, specifically the R.G. Carr Medical College case and the reports of abuse in Sandeshkhali, created a crisis of confidence. For many women, the promise of state protection was overshadowed by concerns for personal safety. This fatigue was compounded by economic stagnation. While neighboring Assam and Bihar posted high growth rates, Bengal's economies struggled under corruption scandals and a lack of industrial investment, leaving the youth to look elsewhere for work. Loyalty to the incumbent was ultimately secondary to the desire for safety and economic opportunity. In the wake of the loss, the TMC pointed to a voter roll cleanup by the Election Commission that removed millions of names, alleging that the exercise targeted their minority strongholds. While that controversy made headlines, a different shift was occurring at the booth level. RSS workers began embedding themselves within the TMC's own local committees. By recruiting lower-level cadres who were disillusioned by local corruption, they hollowed out the ruling party's organizational structure from within. This dismantled the machinery the TMC used to deliver votes. On election day, the very operatives once responsible for the incumbent's ground game were instead facilitating the swing toward the BJP. Bengal's political history suggests once a ruling power is removed, it rarely finds its way back. The Congress and the Left Front both dominated for decades, only to lose their relevance almost immediately after being defeated. The incoming administration is already signaling an economic shift. Markets reacted with a sharp rise, and talks have reportedly begun to bring major industrial projects, including the return of the Tata Group, back to the state. The BJP's immediate priority is to rebrand the state as an economic hub, attempting to replicate the industrial model of Western India in the East. The implications of this victory reach far beyond the state borders. Capturing Bengal's 42 Lok Sabha seats provides the BJP with a decisive legislative advantage in New Delhi. This shift in the parliamentary math makes the passage of core ideological goals, such as the Uniform Civil Code, far more straightforward. Opposition that once centered in Kolkata has been effectively neutralized at the source. The campaign's success also solidifies the standing of its chief architect, Amit Shah, reinforcing his position as the most likely successor in the party's leadership. Bengal was long seen as the final barrier to a national sweep. By breaching this fortress, the BJP has demonstrated that regional identity, once the ultimate defense for local leaders, is no longer an automatic shield against the reach of national politics.